Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I modified this Nissan Skyline R34 GTR from Fast and Furious into my own version. Let's get started. So when I first got this Lego set, I guess at that time, since I wasn't that creative at all, I just decided to play around with it. But the things that I noticed so many major issues with this whole entire Skyline. The number one issue that I found out was the side here. You guys can literally see that from the front. All you see the back is completely imperfect. Especially if you look at the rear, it looks more like a sedan instead of a coupe, which needs to be a GTR, not a sedan. So for my own modified GTR, this is what I did. For the sides here, I shortened this thing to one brick length, and then after I decided to attach it with another brick that's completely untinted, stuff like that. I'm not that good at the Lego vocabulary, so please be patient because this is my first time explaining one of my modifications here. So yeah, first of all, I just decided to make this thing one brick shorter, and then I added this 1x2 tile, and then I also even modified the rear windshields here, which turned out to be pretty much better. Just that some of the bad side is you cannot really see what's at the back. Well, that is something that I do not really want to show you guys, because when we just open up the back here, it's bare. There's a lot of those skeleton bodies that's just supporting this whole entire windshield that's folding down into the roll cage. Let's move into second improvement. So now the second improvement that I had to do to this GTR was, I really love the way how Lego decided to design this underglowing pieces underneath the car so that it looks the same thing as in real life as Brian O'Connor's does. But something that started to bother me a lot was how they had to make this whole entire car lean forwards a bit. Because when I was trying to modify this whole entire front here, as you can see with those big updates, these were continuously trying to scrape the ground, especially with these annoying studs that's sticking out. So then I had to disassemble this whole entire car, and then after that pull this up to one stud. So then this is how it came out, which makes it even more even. Just as something that I couldn't do much better was to add the underglows, because that one obviously meant the cars get stuck so that it wouldn't roll. For the third part, this rear wing is something that's really disappointing me a lot. When we see this thing in real life, well, oh shoot. When I saw pictures of this thing in real life, the rear wing is supposed to be much thinner than this, because this rear wing is much more massive, which doesn't even look even accurate at all. So then what I did to my GTR was that I used some of these pieces here, this 1x8 plate with some of these studded parts, I don't know how to call these things, all of them in blue, so that once I build it up, it's going to look like this. This is how it's going to look like. And after, when we put it up here, it looks really clean. Also, another additional upgrade that I decided to do to this GTR was to do with some of these underneath side skirts, let's just say of the rear. Because I saw a lot of people who actually customize their GTR to look similar to Paul Walker's. They actually decided to use some of these rear underneath bumpers, and they actually look pretty cool. So I just decided to say, like, why not I just install these up. I mean, it looks pretty cool to me, but if you guys don't really want it, then you guys don't have to. The third upgrade are the sides. So we can see that in real life GTRs, they always have these curved sides, as it kind of does to Brian O'Connor's, just that I accidentally ripped out a bit the rear of it. But you guys can actually see that there's like a slight curve going from the rear fender to the sides. So then this is what I actually did, which came out at least to be 10 times better than the original Lego set, which they only decided to slap on some of these 2x6 plates for the doors, which was really boring. And it only makes the car look more dented. Now it's time for the front. So for the front, when I looked at it wasn't really that bad, just that some of the proportions were pretty much off in this car. For example, if you guys can see the grille over here, the way how they used some of these pieces were pretty much genius, just that it didn't really match with the proportions. But the things I really love, the grill vents or the air vents, whatsoever you guys say that, because it makes it be like a real GTR style. But I did not really like the top part and the bottom part here, because in real life, you're supposed to be seeing these blue, gray, and blue stripes on the front bumper. And also, another problem that I came up with was that when I looked in some of these pictures, the front part here needs to be a bit narrower than the sides. So then, instead of keeping this traditional 8 stud wides, I had to use a bunch of jumper plates to make this become a 7 stud wide. Plus with some of these 1x2 cheese slopes in gray to make this thing become more aggressive style. And even also, if you guys notice, I even changed the whole entire place that was occupied with stickers with some real bricks that are transparent. And also, I even replaced the whole entire grill sticker that they used in the original Legos into one of these 1x2 grill that's kind of like platinum silverish. And now it's time for the hood. So for the hood, for this part over here, which has the blue, gray, and the blue stripes, that was pretty much perfect, so that I decided to keep it on the way. But you guys might have also noticed that I made an extra extension for this whole entire massive front mod here. And also I used some of these 2x2 tiles to cover up here, and the 1x2s and 1x2s here. I mean, if you guys have like those 3x2s gray tiles, then you guys can actually definitely use this thing, which will be more effective than this. And after that, for some of the headlight sets, the original Lego sets kind of looked like a sad GTR because it didn't really give that much expression. It just looked very dull. So then, the way how I improved it was by using some of these hacked up 1x2 slope pieces with some of these curved 1x1 plates. This actually made the whole entire headlight angle become more like a angry face, stuff like that. And also for the headlights, I decided to use like some of these pieces that is mostly used for like the gold bar, stuff like that, but it's 1x2 in black. So now you guys can see how I actually installed the headlights with a piece of jumper plate that's stuck right bottom of this type of special brick connector. I forgot what the name was of it, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Okay, never mind, guys. There was one more thing that I had to show you guys, which might be really surprising for you guys, because you guys might have noticed that this gear shifter here and the interior has already been done. I mean, I actually followed some of the tutorials how to make like a realistic interior, because the way how that one YouTuber did, I forgot the name of his, but I'll try adding it in later. Adding some of these 1x2 round edged plates are pretty nice because it makes it more realistic. But you guys might have also noticed the gear shift knob here. This thing surprisingly shifts gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, gear 6, or whatsoever. So I'm gonna jump into that tutorial straight right now. Okay, so these are the pieces that you need. You need this 1x2 hinge piece with some sort of the special connector. I don't really know those names either. And after these 1x2 round plates that has a hole in the middle, you'll see the reason why. Then after, you'll need any sort of color that it's a microphone in black. So then the first step that we want to do is to make this 1x2 hinge piece to be connected into this. Okay, now we're going to be connecting this 1x1 brick or the plate on top of this. Now for the third part, we're going to be installing this microphone, which I got the inspiration by Konkun Bricks. I don't know if you guys actually know to this guy, but you guys should definitely subscribe to him because he actually knows a lot of those cool car hacks that is actually realistic to real life. So I'm going to insert this microphone. And as you can see, you guys have officially made one of these working gear shifting knobs. Now we're going to be installing this into our car, but before that, I don't really know if there's actually more pieces that are supposed to be gone underneath the place where the gear needs to go. But if it does have some of those pieces, completely remove all of it that's underneath it just to install this thing that's working. Unfortunately for this video, I just decided to not do the tutorial. I owe a deep apology to one of my subscribers who actually really wanted a tutorial. But it's just that one fear that I'm having is that there's this one dude that's called Bricks Build Whips, is it? That who also copied off a Miata from Brooksbox and Mock, so I don't want that guy to be copying off my idea for this whole entire front, side, and the rear, and even the interior upgrades for this. So I owe you guys a deep apology for that. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and share.